thought I'd shoot today a little bit about our flagtail Prochilodus, redfin. We have two of them, and they keep this tank squeaky clean. I never have to wipe it pretty much from the inside, except sometimes over the water line where they cannot reach, but they usually keep it pretty clean. Prochilodus they have special mouth for sucking on surfaces. And in whichever tank they live, the yellowfin, the redfin, Prochilodus lineatus, and others. But mostly it's the flagtail that's the most attractively colored one that people even specifically keep so that they keep their tanks clean. Anyhow, we have two of them. This is the younger and smaller one. One from Jordan. It's a rescue from I want to say 3 or 4 years ago. So this guy is probably about 4 years old. Close to a foot. The only fish that lets him mouth itself is that Oscar behind it, the split lip. But there is never any damage or anything that I can visually estimate as a problem on the Oscar. So I don't think, see how it's cleaning the rocks right now? So I don't think it's deleterious for the Oscar, because it lets this smaller Prochilodus approach and suck on it, suck a little bit of slime, I guess. Not enough to cause any damage. And the bigger Prochilodus in the back, we've had it for about since 2015. So that's probably about 8 years old. This one is over a foot, maybe about 16 inches. The story of that guy is that it used to live in the same tank when it was little, in the grow-out tank with tigrinous catfish. And the tigrinous catfish tried to eat it. And even though it didn't succeed, of course, because the sizes were wrong, it still damaged enough of the tail that the tail pretty much had to regrow on that fish. Hence you can tell how pretty the tail is on this one, which was not damaged, versus that other one which was. And also recently I've noticed that smaller masseurs have been paying attention to the little wound or little abrasion on the right hand side near the dorsal of the big guy. And I think that they're the ones that made that abrasion, but it's been healing. It appeared about 2 weeks ago, and by now it almost disappeared. And when the masseur approached that Prochilodus, it quickly swims away. Doesn't let them continue biting in the same spot and causing a lasting wound or damage. I'm not sure how to tell their genders. I mean, this Prochilodus has a much taller dorsal fin, which may be the sign of the male. As I said, this is about 4 years old, the other one is about 8 years old. But relatively speaking, I mean, they both have very, very tall dorsals. But relative to their body, the smaller one has a taller dorsal than leading ray. But if you know how to sex them just from looking at their appearance, I'd appreciate you letting me know. What's wrong with you? Why are you doing this crazy movements with your mouth? I'm talking to the giraffe catfish. It's feeding time right now, so they're all watching me, waiting for when I will come with the food. The smaller Prochilodus is more brazen, and as you can see just now, it's chasing away the bigger Prochilodus. The bigger one usually keeps to the back of the tank, and the smaller one is all over the place, behaving itself as a boss. So in general, Prochilodus are rather, I would say, aggressive fish. But they're very pretty. Especially if I kept brighter lights, because I keep everybody in most of the time in very dim light, except for the filming. When you keep them in bright lights, the colors improve. I'd like to eventually get like a group of them of a couple of dozen or 3 dozen, just to see what a group would look like and behave like. Well, they used to be like $15 or $20, but I missed my chance. Nowadays they're much more expensive, like $40 to $60 each. And I'm talking 2.5, 3-inch babies or juvies. They take New Life Spectrum small pellets and large pellets, kind of clumsily, and then but they learn how to take them, and that's their principal food. And then the rest they supplement from cleaning up all the rocks and all the surfaces, and sometimes trying to clean other fish, like that bigger Prochilodus just tried on the sun catfish, and the sun catfish wouldn't have it. But mostly they keep clean the inanimate surfaces in the tank. So that's their diet, at least in our hands so far. They probably thrive and do the best in strongly lit tanks in full sunlight that produce a lot of surface algae. Well, that's our little update on the flagtail redfin Prochilodus. Our 2 rescues from, not from, but 8 years old and 4 years old. About 16 inches and 12 inches. It's a bigger guy coming, turning around.